Welcome back. My name is Martin Yadav and welcome to math2code.com. This is episode 2 part 2. Today we are going to see what classes and objects are. Before understanding what a class and object are, we should first understand what is procedure-oriented language and what is object-oriented language. Now today I am going to give you a real-life example and make you understand what is the difference between both of them. You must be seeing one image in front of me. After some time, you'll understand what it is. Let us take this example. Suppose that if you want to make an Ganesha idol, there are two ways by which you can do that. Either by using clay or mud or by using a mold. So we should understand that if I use clay and mud, what is that approach? And if I use a mold, what is that approach? So as I said to you that we have two ways by which we can make an Ganpati idol. So the first one, in which if I try to make a Ganpati idol using clay or mud, then that is a procedure oriented way. Why is it so? Because in this form I'm trying to focus only on the way I can get the end product. I'm not interested in what all ingredients I'm using or how much amount of ingredient I'm using. So the procedure is more important for me, and the end product, it may look like a Ganesha idol or it may not look like a Ganesha idol. So the end product which comes, it may be what you want or it may not be. Okay, so but the procedure, if it is followed, so we expect that we will get a Ganesha idol. So in this image, you are seeing that this person is actually using this clay to create an Ganesha idol, which will actually in future or maybe when it is prepared, it will look like this. So it is not actually looking, or it is not actually that great to actually sell, and it doesn't look like a professional made Ganpati idol or Ganesha idol. So the procedure is followed by using clay, by using sticks, getting them together and trying to look like a Ganesha idol. Okay, so that was a procedure oriented way where you try to get all the ingredients together, but you're more focused on how to use that procedure to make a end product. Now, instead of that, if you have this mold with you, in which you have to only put a proper amount of ingredients and you get the best result out of it. So over here we are focusing on what kind of mold I have, and more importantly, what ingredients I need to use so that I get a proper end product. So this is a object oriented way where I'm more focused on data and not that much focused on the procedure. Okay, so that is the difference between an object oriented programming and a procedure oriented programming. In a procedure oriented programming, we are more focused on procedure, but there is no data security which we want. But instead of that, in object oriented programming, the more we have focused more on data security. So that was just an explanation to understand what is the difference between a procedure oriented language and an object oriented language. Now what we'll do is we'll go forward and see how to write a class and how to make an object in BlueJ. So without wasting time, let's move towards our IDE, and you know what you mean by an IDE. This is the IDE which is in front of us. An IDE is an integrated development environment. And as I gave an example of Ganesha, so what we'll do is, just for fun, we'll make a class Ganesha. So let's go and click on new class. Now in my previous videos, I told you how to run your program on a CMD prompt also, and how to run a program in BlueJ also. So if you don't know those things till now, you can just click on the I button which is appearing right now on the top and see those videos. So now let's give the name as Ganesha to my class. Is the spelling wrong? Yeah. So name of the class is Ganesha. I'll just copy this class, say OK. So now my class Ganesha is created for me. Just double click on this and you are inside this class. Just Control A, remove all the stuff which is there. And now I have this clean class with me. Now the name of the class which I actually gave was Ganesha. So over here also I need to write that. Now just for example, as I told you in that story that when you're making this class, I am more interested in what ingredients I'm using. So just for fun, I'm taking 3 ingredients with me. Let's say mud, int, uh, clay, and let's say int fevicol also. Now, what are all these things? So as a class consists, or it is a combination of characteristics and behavior. So these are your characteristics. Now, each and every person is having some characteristics and some behavior. So our class is also going to have some characteristics and some behavior, or you can say data members and member functions. So the thing which I've written in front of you right now are data members, and we are going to write the member functions also. So I will be writing a member function. Let's say void make underscore Ganesha, and inside this I'm going to pass mud, clay and fevicol. Int C, comma, int F, whatever amount of mud, clay and fevicol I'm going to give this object, or you can say this function. According to that, the Ganesha will be prepared for me. So I'll be saying mud mud equal to M and clay equal to C and fevicol equal to F. So now the example which is there in front of you says that I'll make a Ganesha idle if you give me this 3 things. So while actually calling this function, what do you mean by calling a function, what do you mean by definition of the function, we're going to see this. But right now I want to give you an example how to write a class and object. So I'm therefore showing you this example. Okay, so this is the member function with us. The second member function is to display a Ganapati, or you can say that a Ganapati is prepared. So void show Ganesha. I'm not going to show take any objects or any parameter in this, and I'll just write system dot out dot print ln. And inside this I'm going to print that Ganesha idol is made. Now, and in this we can write that we are preparing Ganesha model. In process. Okay, so as I said that a class consists of characteristics and behavior. So we have these data members and member functions in front of us. Now we need to actually make an object of it. Now, why is it important to make an object? For this, let's take some other example. Now, if you're trying to construct a building, for making that building or building that building, you need to create a blueprint first. So that blueprint, I can actually compare it with my class. So a class can be called as a blueprint. Now, when you actually want to construct that building, you cannot actually put those bricks on that blueprint and create a building. For actually making a building, you need to take a physical space, and on that you're going to create that building. So the same way, this class which is written in front of you is just a blueprint. I need to go forward and create an object out of it. So for creating an object out of it, I go and write a main function, public static void main. Coming inside this, how to make an object. So to make an object, you will just write the name of the class, that is Ganesha. You can give any name to the object, let's say obj for time being, equal to new Ganesha and these 2 brackets. Now what do you mean by this? I'll be explaining you each and every term which I've used over here, but for this episode I just want to tell you that what do you mean by a class, an object, how to write a program. So I've created an object now. Now let's call the functions which we have used. So I'll say obj dot make Ganesha. So come here, I say make Ganesha with 10 kg of mud, comma 20 kg of clay, comma 5 kg of Fevicol. After making that, I want to show the user that my Ganesha idol is prepared. So I'll say obj dot show Ganesha, and in this I'm not going to give any kind of parameters, so I'll just write only this much, and this is my class which is ready now. And when I run this, it will first show that Ganesha idol is in process, and after that it should show that Ganesha idol is made. Because why this happened? Because by making this object, I called two functions. The first function was make Ganesha and second function was show Ganesha. What do you mean by calling a function? What do you mean by definition of a function? I will explain it. Let's first run this program. So I go and compile. There is no syntax error. You can see over here. I go back. I right click on this and say void main. Okay, so this is our answer. Ganesha idol is in process and Ganesha idol is made. So we are successful with our first program to understand what a class and object is. Let's go back to our program and understand what a function definition is and what a function call is. Whenever you're writing the actual thing which you want to do, that needs to be written inside a function definition. When you want to apply that, that needs to be done by using function call. So over here, the thing which I've marked for you is a function definition. And when I call a function, it's called like this, in this manner. Now, since I have used a static and a non-static function, therefore I need to create an object. Now, what do you mean by static and non-static function? In the next episode, we're going to see the same thing. Now, for time being, I hope so that all of you understood that how to write and what do you mean by a class and object. If you have any comments, questions, you can comment down or mail me on mattcorin@gmail.com. So that was the video all about, and it was our episode 2 part 2. I'm completing my episode 2 over here. In episode 3, we'll see some new things. So if you have any questions, doubts, or if you want some other videos, you can comment down. You can share these videos with all the students who are in need. Thank you and have a nice day.